Right, here we are for our first Fusion 360 tutorial for the phone stand or the device stand that we're going to be working on in product design. Now you can see before we start I've created a folder over here called with my initials Year9 phone stand. I suggest you do the same thing, just click here on new project and create a new project in here. Obviously I don't want to do that, so I'm going to get out of there, but there's my phone stand. So once you've done that, you can come over and click into this screen, and before you start drawing, you need to save your drawing. So Command S to save, and you can see in this drop down menu there's a number of different options, but we're going to put this project into Year9 phone stand into there, and we're going to give it a name. I'm going to put my name in there. If you put your full name in, that'd be really useful, because later on if Mr. Mike or myself are laser cutting it or 3D printing, it's always easy to access your file. Then the name of the project, phone stand, and this is the base, and then this is the third time I've drawn it, so I'm going to call it 003. It's good to use this numbering system for all of your files. Right, so if we go over here and look in this folder, you can see it's coming up here right now. But while we're working on the drawing, we don't need this panel open, so we can just hide it away. And this is we're ready to go in this view here. We're going to get started straight away with a rectangular sketch. So we drag down here and go to 2-point rectangle. But actually there's a shortcut for that, and I'm always going to try and teach you the shortcuts if I can. So I'm going to click on R for rectangle, and then I'm going to select this face. That's where I want to draw it. I'm going to click the first corner of the rectangle and drag. You can see there where it says 26, I actually want it to be 12. So I'm just, without clicking anywhere, I'm just typing 12 into the keyboard, and then pressing the Tab key, I'm going to change the other dimension to 140. That's the side profile of the base, and then press Enter to lock that down. I can use 2 fingers to scroll that into position, and I can click on the front here and it'll spin around, so I'm looking directly into it. Again, 2 fingers to scroll. Right, into here I need to cut a little, so I'm going to zoom, just pinch your fingers to zoom. I need to draw a rectangle on a diagonal that's going to be the area that's cut out for the upstand. So just to get the dimensions for that, I'm going to draw a line. It's going to be a construction line, and I'm going to click from here and drag that along, and again just typing 30 in there so I get exactly the right length, and then press Enter. You can see that's come up as a dotted line, which is great, rather than a solid line. That's a construction line when it's dotted. And now I need to draw in my rectangle, so again I'm L for line, click and drag. I want that to go 8 millimeters down, and then Tab again for 70 degrees. Oh, now I need to change that from a construction line, so I can just click on it and unclick construction. I'm going to zoom in again, another line, L here, and that's going to be 3 millimeters wide, and then L again, and that should go to there. Oh, we're still getting construction lines, let's get rid of them. Click on that line and unclick construction. It must be down here too. Right. Now, see, this is looking good. I'll just delete out these dimensions because they're kind of getting in the way a bit. I can delete out that 30 millimeter construction line. There it is. Delete that one out because I don't need that anymore. And then the last thing I want to do is trim out this little piece in here. So I'm going to use the T for trim and then trim that out. Again, pinching to zoom. And I'm going to go back to the home view, which looks like that. And now I'm going to extrude out the width of this. You can use the modify menu here and go extrude, or the shortcut is E, so just E for extrude. Click on that face, and I'm going to extrude it 80 millimeters. You can see it's brought up negative here, so let's go negative 80. And then just press, and as we do that, we'll make that into a new component rather than a new body. and then we're going to click OK. So you can just have a bit of a scroll around there and have a look at the shape. That's the basic shape of the piece of wood that we're going to supply you, and that's the basic drawing that you need to do. There's a few, you might make a few modifications to this. One of those is to put some fillets. Now, fillet is a curve on an edge, so it's under here, modify fillet. Again, the shortcut is F, so let's click on F. If we click on that face there, you can drag a fillet like this, but I guess the most common way to do that is to type a size in. So let's put because that was 12 millimeters, let's put a 6 millimeter fillet in there, and we'll put one on the back edge as well, 6 again. Now along these edges here, I'd like to put a fillet there, but it doesn't need to be so curved. I think it would detract from the overall shape. So just click on F. This is really nice how it selects around that curve as well. So you can select all 4 edges that you want to fillet, and then let's try 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. Yeah, that 2 millimeters looks quite nice. So let's leave it like that. So that's the fillets added to the drawing. And before we go, let's just save. One thing that would be nice to do to this drawing is to change the material. So at the moment it's just drawn out of a standard material, but if we two-finger click on here, on the component, two-finger click on here, we've got 2 choices here, the physical material and the appearance. So let's click on physical material, and it's going to bring up a list of options. We're going to click on wood. Possibly down here we'll get an option for bamboo. No. So let's go with just a plain pine. It's a similar color. Obviously the texture is going to be slightly different, but if we click on pine, we drag that onto that surface, and you can see it's rendered it up with the pine grain on it as well, which makes it look really cool. Right, so that's drawing's finished. Let's save that. Okay, you might want to have a play with the fillets and a little bit more of a play around to see if you can modify that so that it meets your needs a bit more. Okay, thank you for following the tutorial, and you can go back to my channel and you can have a look at tutorial 2 now.